right, hello and welcome to another episode of the Dietitian Against Diets. Now, for those who have just seen me for the first time, my name is Rashonda Thornton, and yes, I am a dietitian. However, my platform reflects a lot more than just food and meal plans. It reflects self-care and self-love. So before I start introducing to my next guest, I want to introduce you to one of my podcast partners called Mid-Dairy Council under the title Undeniably Dairy. Now, Undeniably Dairy, obviously, they're focused on bringing nutritious, healthy food to you, but they also really play a big role in sustainability by addressing climate change and water quality. Now, connected with the farmers, we know that's where it starts, where farmers have continued to be good environmental stewards by being able to produce the same amount of food by using fewer natural resources. Over the last 10 years, I would say, over 70 U.S. dairy farmers with a combination of businesses they collaborate with and other partnerships have been stepping up and taking measures to create environmental solutions to improving the well-being of people, animals, and the planet. Now, just recently, they've been honored to receive the Innovation Center of U.S. Dairy Award, where they have proven the work that they've done to continue to bring those growth to generations to come. To learn more about more things that these dairy farmers are doing, go to the website at www.usdairy.com/sustainability. Now, as we're getting ready to roll into our conversation, I want to bring to light some concepts that, even especially considering the past holiday season, that when it comes to food, like how we always want to reward ourselves with food. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but a lot of times the reward piece is our way sometimes of creating a justification or creating a facade that I deserve to eat this sugar-laden food or this high-fatty food, or I've done such a good job that I deserve that. Well, I don't want it to take away the thought process of feeling rewarding yourself for something that you work hard for. I think that's great. But I think when it comes to the reality, when we choose to have certain foods that we claim to be a reward, it actually does the opposite when it comes to our body. Like, it doesn't reward our bodies. It only rewards one thing, and it's that 2x3 piece of meat in your mouth, and I call it your tongue. It rewards your tongue for a short period of time. Because as soon as you have that delightful dish, within 5 or 10 minutes, if you're not feeling sick from having it or full, you're emotionally, mentally feeling down from having that food. And, again, if this is a reward is something that's long-standing, that you are proud that you've accomplished, that you acquired. And sometimes when we tell ourselves that we deserve to eat certain foods, sometimes I really think that we just tell ourselves that so we can find a way to feel better in the act of eating it. But almost immediately after we eat it, we would say there was a reward. So, instead of, living a life to where we have to give these labels to certain foods to feel better, ask yourself, just legitimately ask yourself, does this particular food reward your health? Does it reward your body? If your body can ask one question, if you can ask your body one question, is it appreciate the food you're putting in it? If something that's processed, full of sugar, full of fat, is that what your body needs and what your body deserves? And I'm sure your body would probably answer and say, no, I don't want to digest that. Or the more I'm forced to use this substance to create life, the more difficult it becomes. And to me, that's what leads to further health conditions down the road, because your body only can take so much. So instead of, looking at certain foods that are not really healthy for you as a reward, let's start looking at nutrition as our true reward. When you're bringing in clean foods, when you're bringing in low fatty foods that are not processed, that's from the ground, that's natural, I promise you, your body looks at that as a reward, because it can take those foods, those nutrients, and place them in different areas of your body that's going to promote your health. It's going to help you to just do everything from think clear, sleep better, move more. Like, that's the true reward you're giving your body. So I look at nutrition as actually you're gifting your body with all these nutrients so it can use that and help you to thrive and live healthy throughout your life. So again, it's just a concept to think about, but I want you to start thinking about what is a true reward. Now, does that mean, you should never have a cookie or have a brownie or have a donut? No, it doesn't. It just means perhaps let's not give it a label of something that you deserve. First, give it something that you like to have every once in a while and keep it in that space. Again, it's understanding the reality of what's really deserved for your body and be able to properly identify those foods that really are. So again, change the thought process of feeling like you need to reward yourself to, I will choose to have a few of this and a few of that, but I don't want to look at it as a reward. A true reward is giving your body the optimal nutrients that it needs to live an optimal life. So again, thank you for taking a moment to hear that. If you feel this message resonated, don't hesitate to share this. There are a lot of people out there that are struggling with their foods and their health and their body, and the whole concept of what's beneficial for them is inside out. So we want to continue to spread this message of self-care and self-love and reflecting it through your acts of nutrition. So thank you again for listening, and I hope you enjoy the show. Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Dietitian Against Diets podcast. We are now in season 2, and I have my guest here, Dana Lynn Kaye. She is the owner of Devotion Nutrition, whose products represents balance and a healthy lifestyle while enjoying flavors that's viewed as off limits. She's more than that, though. She is actually a mother of 3. She's been a bodybuilder, and she's an entrepreneur working in so many different ways to revolutionize the industry of health and fitness. So I want to introduce you to my true friend today here, Dana Kaye. Welcome here.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here today.
Great. And Dana's here, there in Florida. So I have to say I'm a little jealous. Being here in St. Louis, I think we're hitting at about 30 degrees right now. So I see sunlight over there to your right. So I'm a little jealous today.
Oh, we have a lot of sunlight, and I will say we're having a cold snap, which is around 70. So I'm not even going to complain about that, because that will make me sound like a spoiled brat over here in Florida.
Yeah, I would switch with you any day for a 7-degree weather, but it is what it is. But again, I'm glad to have you here today, and you have a lot of moving pieces with your business and who you are, but more so what it represents. So you have a product, or you have a line of products, and it's essentially around your products around Devotion Nutrition, which is a combination of protein powders, these, I guess you would call them flex flavor packets. Yes, and we actually going to talk a lot about those. But before we go into that, let's go behind the scenes, because when I was watching your stories, you have a couple of great inspirational videos on YouTube and on your page that really kind of redefines who you are and how you've kind of revolutionize yourself and how you reflected it in your product. So as I said earlier, you are a mother of 3 young ones. Well, I guess what their ages, 9 to 11?
Yes, a 11-year-old son, and I have a set of twins who are 8 girls.
There you go. Oh, wow. Okay, yes. And the girls. Okay.
Yes.
That changes the game. So that says a lot, because if someone were to look at you, they're looking at your website, all they see is a woman that's, in shape. She's all about fitness and empowerment. But just being a mother, that gives a unique dynamic to, I look at it as a way of most mothers, I'm a mother myself, we feel like once we have kids, the pages have turned, and now we have all our life is dedicated into motherhood. But you have found a way to combine your fitness and your motherhood simultaneously. So, and one thing you really lean on is like, without having an excuse, you find a way to make it work. So kind of, tell me a little bit about like how you came to that point of your life where you just kind of refused to just be complacent, and you knew where you wanted to go with your fitness and your wellness, and you took that dive to make that happen.
Well, obviously, I mean, I don't like that, like, just I'm a mom, game over, it is what it is, like that whole mentality of just like, oh, once you become a mom, it's like, oh, what, you're not allowed to feel good anymore, you're not allowed to be sexy, you're not allowed to feel fit, no, it's like, no, you're a mom, but we're still women, and you've got a lot of life to live, and I feel like how we feel about ourselves, no matter what your personal goals are, it's a it comes out, and your kids are watching you, and they see it. If my kids see me feel badly about myself, if I'm struggling, if I'm depressed, they feel it. And my number one job is being a mother. My number one job is to raise strong, independent people to send out into the world, obviously, and give them the tools to live their best lives. And fortunately, I had a mother who, through my struggles, taught me how to rise up through that stuff. I was born with a big appetite. I love to eat. I love food. Not everybody's born loving food. Like, I mean, people love food, but some of us like it more than others. And And so I did have a lot of obstacles. I wasn't born with some metabolism where I wasn't the like girl who could eat whatever she wanted and get
And
away
nothing
with it.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was like, and so every time, I would have these struggles. We would come up with a way to, because devotion nutrition is a byproduct of
Mm-hmm.
my story, and it was a solution. I feel like in life, it's like you can sit there and you can sit there and complain, and you can sit there and say, well, I wasn't blessed with these genes and I wasn't, but it's like, what are you going to do about it?
Yes.
Let's,
You
you're
can't
allowed
change
to
that. So
complain
how can you?
sometimes, but let's now find a solution. When people vent to me, I'm like, I don't mind if you're going to vent. If you're upset about your this, what are we going to do now?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was me. And I was like, okay, I don't like it that I love food so much and I'm missing out on my sweets and I'm missing out on this and that. And I knew that I loved the aesthetic fit physique. I knew
Okay.
that something about being athletic and muscles and fitness and all that was really, that was a look I loved. And I knew I wanted to accomplish that, but that's, what you and I were saying before, that's the icing on the cake. That's the byproduct of your hard work. That's what I want as I feel like it's like you're an artist. You get to have your body reflect how you want to look and what's important to you. Not everybody loves muscles. Not everybody loves, but that's okay. But nutrition and being healthy gives us the ability to then accomplish whatever we want to accomplish to make us in the end feel good. And then if we feel good, we want to live life, and it's just like a snowball effect.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one thing, why you're talking about that, because that's true. Like, it should be a byproduct, or it should be the icing on the cake. It's the good stuff. It's
Yes.
what, it's what we're waiting for, right? It's what we enjoy. And I think there's nothing wrong in celebrating that. But when it comes to, we not talk about motherhood, and like once you turn the page into motherhood, the rest of your story is, serve your kids, put yourself in the back seat, or, you'll take care of yourself last. And I just think we as women allow ourselves to get layers on layers of those excuses on top of us, where we just don't see any hope. But what I was going to ask you, because a lot of times when women, they endear to look like someone that they see that's real fit or fit at their fitness level, but when they try to go about their route of doing it, they want these results to come quick. They want it to fall off. And as you
Right.
know, and as I know, it takes time. And that's where the devotion piece comes to play, because you can't force your body to just mold and conform. You just have to keep working and being consistent. And over time, it just starts to mold and model in the way that you are wanting it to. And that's something I know you
Absolutely.
realized during your journey of change.
Well, I decided that, I wasn't going to separate it. I wasn't going to say I'm a fitness woman and I'm a mom, and I was going to bring it all together. An entrepreneur. I brought all of the things together, and I made fitness a part of our family lifestyle. So when the twins were newborn, I mean, I got a really nice double stroller that could go everywhere, and I started my fitness with newborn babies. And same with my son, when he was, but by that time he was already in preschool, and so he was watching what I was doing. We would be outside playing. I knew that they were going to be incorporated into my lifestyle, so that as they grow up, they're seeing their mom be fit. They've been part of devotion. They've been my taste testers, from day one. It wasn't going to be a separate thing. It was, that hashtag fit mom. I was like, okay, I'm fit and I'm a mom, and we're going to bring the whole thing together, do it as a family, so that they grow up with these lifestyle habits. And in the beginning, when they I would wake up at 5 a.m. and I was doing my cardio before they would wake up, because obviously with infants, it's a hustle. Twins, it was a lot. I couldn't always just be doing fitness. And so I did have to make time. Instead of saying, I don't have time to do cardio, I made time. I found the time in my day. When can I get this in? Okay, they have a 20-minute nap here. I'm just going to, get outside and do a workout. I just made it work. I didn't want to feel like I couldn't accomplish my goals, or that I had to, that I could. It's like, that it's like have your cake and eat it too. I wanted to have it all. I didn't want to say, oh, I'm a mom, that ship sailed. Like, no,
Yes.
I was too young for that. I had my kids 29 and 31. And so I was like, ugh, I got a lot of years left on this planet.
Yeah.
I need to spend it loving myself.
Yes.
So,
and I mean, like you said, like your kids, they see that, I have a
they've
similar.
been watching me.
Yeah, and that when they see it, it's normalized. I mean, it's normalized, but it becomes what the family does, which means what they'll do moving forward. And I mean, as a mom myself, my kiddo, he's 18 now, but when he was, ever since he was born, prior to him being born, I was in fitness. I worked out. I played athletics, so it never changed. So he has a timeline of memories of going to the gym, watching me, work out. Now, guess what? He comes with me to the gym and we work out.
Yep.
We have routines, and like what you're saying, like you want your children to know, like this is a part of life. So when they are parents, this is something that it's not that they don't push to the side. They actually keep embedding into their family. It just makes it more of a generational thing. And to me, that may be a way that things can start turning around when it comes to, just the importance of wellness. And if your kids see it growing up, it's normalized. That's what they're going to do moving forward.
Doing it together. It's even the way you speak about it. My girls are at the age where they're they're learning a lot. I mean, they're more advanced even than we were, probably obviously years ago, just because of social media, what they see, everything. And I'm careful with the words I use. Why are we working? Why is mommy doing cardio in the morning? Why does mommy lift weights? Like why is mommy eating a big salad every night? Every night, mom, why do you eat your salad? They're always asking me. And it's like, I'm eating a lot of vegetables. I'm eating chicken. I'm practicing what I preach. If I'm trying to get you to eat vegetables, like it's because you see me eating vegetables. I'm nourishing my body. I'm eating things that are, that are healthy for us, and I'm lifting weights to make me strong, and I'm doing cardio so that I can be fit and healthy, and I can run, and my lungs are strong, and my heart is strong. I mean, those are the reasons why I give my kids, rather than, we don't use words like getting fat or skinny or, any of that. I mean, we really focus on because I want my girls to love themselves and love their bodies. My twins are polar opposites, with their body types. One is a little petite little thing who can eat whatever she wants. The other one is a mini me. She cannot get away with whatever she wants. She's a fuller figure. It's like mind blowing, how different they are. But I'm still approaching health and fitness with both of them the same way, because it's still important for the more petite one to nourish her body with healthy foods. I don't care if she can get away with the calories. No, you need to get in your vegetables and fruits. So I'm serving them the same way, using the same verbiage, and just raising two strong, eventual women. So that's my mindset with it. And obviously, I want my devotion customers and the people who are following me to get that same vibe. This is not about, I'm not judging anybody on my social media. The women reach out to me. I'm like, this is my physique of what I've accomplished. And you know what? A lot of times if you go to my social media and you see some, like, I love the fitness, like I said, the aesthetics of it. However, like, it didn't take me overnight to get there. Just like you said, we want to just start a diet and get there. And I'm like, and they'll say to me, well, how long did it take you to get there? I'm like, this is just a life. This has been, I can't even give you, this wasn't a 12-week program. This was me literally making it a lifestyle where and I always use this expression every time I put blinders on, I stopped looking in the mirror. I would wake up and I'd say, I am going to go get my exercise in because I'm exercising. My physical is a byproduct of lifting my weights, good nutrition, doing my cardio, and over just endless. I've been to China and back 75 times on cardio. I can't even.
You put in some miles and some times. Yes. Like you said, it's not that it's hard. It's not easy. And it takes work. It takes that dedication. I mean, and dedication in a way that you can't have a stop clock. Say, okay, I'm going to do this until February. I'm going to do this until I lose 15 pounds. It's not. It's like running a track. it's just an ongoing thing.
Have you seen my hashtag for devotion? It's until it's done.
Until it's done. Guess what? It's never done.
Never done.
So that's where, the lifestyle piece come into play. One thing you did mention is that, you talk about you love food, and I always promote you should always love food, but it's also, we have to look at food as our partner, not our adversary, because a lot of people have adversary relationships with food, and they feel subjected, or they feel weak around certain foods. And a lot of that is just shifting, you're recreating a relationship with food that you realize it's going to be with you for the rest of your life. So how about we partner in this? Love the food that you're eating, but love the food that serves you. And so when we talk about food and eating, when it comes to diets, I know a lot of people, they just brace themselves and I'm just gonna push through this diet, and they're miserable the whole time. They can't wait till it's over, and then once they're out of it, they haven't even learned anything. They haven't grown at all, so they find themselves right back where they started. And one thing you mentioned was that you need to love what you're doing with your diet, because there's so many different ways to eat healthy. And so in order for you to do it forever, you have to enjoy it. And it's going to change over time, because as you get more used to things, you diversify your foods and you learn more, you get better at it. But you can't fit yourself in a diet. You can't just force yourself in this preset diet. You have to figure out what works for you, and then maybe something you have to create around yourself. Because if you want to do it for the rest of your life, that's what's going to take.
Yeah. Yes. I love everything you're saying. I love it, because that is truly how I've accomplished what I've accomplished, is because I've stayed devoted, and I have realized that I'm going to have to eat the foods that nourish my body. And but the thing is when you go to the supermarket, the marketing it's overwhelming with say oatmeal. We all know that oatmeal is something that people are told to eat, but then a lot of times people will think that they're doing themselves a favor by getting the package, like the quick, brown sugar cinnamon oatmeal packet.
Boy.
Or they're going to go down the yogurt aisle. Oh, I'm taking a yogurt to work today. It's a strawberry yogurt, or and I'm over here like, okay, by the time you just ate that sugary oatmeal packet with 24 grams of sugar, and then you had your yogurt with, 22 grams of sugar. I mean, the amount of sugar that slides into a diet, it's like those things oatmeal is wonderful. Yogurt is wonderful. There's so many things that we should be eating, but people then say, well, why aren't I making any progress? Why aren't I? And it's like, okay, well, yes, you need to eat those foods, but there are so many hidden sugars. And so what I did was I looked at the foods that I knew that I wanted to incorporate in my body for a reason, for my lifestyle. And then I said, how can we make these foods better? So for me now, I will buy, plain oatmeal, and then I have my flex flavors, and they're flavored stevias, and I add a flex flavor to my oatmeal, and I have 15 different flavors. So I say every day, have your oatmeal,
something different,
have your plain Greek yogurt, add a flex flavor to it, take it to work with you, throw it in your lunch bag, and enjoy those foods, nourish your body. But it's okay, and yes, you should enjoy them. Enjoy your oatmeal. Enjoy, your protein shake. I couldn't stand, like you mentioned, I've been into bodybuilding. I did compete in figure for years. And oftentimes on my, preps to these shows, I would have 3 protein shakes a day. And I couldn't stand them. Choking down a protein shake, they were gross. And I was like, there has to be a better way. And protein is obviously something that is so important in a diet, because I mean, when you break it down to the macro, you're either eating protein, you're eating carbs, or eating fats.
Those were
I realized that protein was going to be a big part of my diet, for obvious reasons, and yet I eat about 6 to 7 small meals a day. I like to not stuff my body with food all at once, and I like to graze and snack, and that's my style. But I realized I don't want to do that every meal with chicken or fish.
Yes,
or
you have to
eggs.
diversify it. You have to enjoy it. I tell people you want to look forward to what you're eating. So a lot of times it forces you to, I mean, again, people have great intentions to think, oh, just because it's oatmeal, just because it says yogurt is good for you because of marketing, but they may not have the forethought to, let me read the back of the label, and let's really understand what's considered good for your body and what's not, and understanding sugar components and how much sugar is actually in there. I think it's very important for people to kind of be able to know how to discern, and then find a product, like you said, that how can I bypass that sugar component and still have the flavor that I want? Because you want to enjoy eating. You have to. If not, you're just, closing your nose or just guzzling it down, and you're missing out the opportunity to, like, then you're just going through the process. It's a formula now. You put A plus B plus C equals D, versus recognizing, how can I make sure I'm in the moment of this food, the taste, the flavor, knowing it's good for my body, having, feeling positive afterwards instead of feeling bad about yourself. How can I embrace all of that together and still see the results that I want? And I think that's the hardest component that people find themselves in, because they don't know how it's a lot of reasons why they don't know how. It's education. It's the way they've been marketed to. They follow someone else's lead. There's many reasons as to why a person just don't know how to do it. And I think, with your product, it allows them to have, like, say, be able to utilize that palate and appreciate what's going on in the tongue, and their body still appreciates what goes in the body. And I think that's, to me,
and feel
satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Because, like you said, a lot of people fall off their diet, or they think it's a start and a stop, because they think it's like a torture session, or like a what's it called? They think that it's like, for a short period of time, I'm going to torture myself with just eating like a rabbit and eating plain foods. But then you stop the diet, you start going back to old habits, you gain all the weight back, and then they say, oh, I lost all this weight, I gained it back. But the whole point with devotion is that you can just keep on going, you make it a lifestyle, and you never feel deprived. You never feel that you're missing out on things. So developing a protein like my protein, it is so unique because you can make your shake, you can bake with it. And people who think of being on a diet, it means not eating pancakes and waffles, not making muffins, not making, like, all these things. And they say, oh, well, when I'm done with my diet, we'll go out for breakfast, we'll have pancakes. And it's like, I thought, like, why? How about you make your pancakes and you're on your plan and you're on your lifestyle plan and you're living your best life, and then there's never an end to it, and you keep the weight off because you don't feel deprived. You can keep going on something if you're loving it and you don't feel deprived. But people are always on diets thinking they're going to reward themselves with extra food at the end, or like with something that they're missing out on. And it's like, wait a second, like, so you're just going to put all this work in, and then you're going to go stuff your face with all the food you were missing, and then what? It's like this crazy, like...
It's the opposite. I literally just had a post Friday, and I had a picture of a strawberry, but in front of it said, food is not a reward, nutrition is. And then in the writing, I wrote, the reality is that we tell ourselves, we reward ourselves these foods that does the opposite to our health and to our goals. And when you realize that nutrition, when it comes to, learning how to bring in foods that are tasty, learning, what works for you, and you understand that the value of what you're putting in your body now is really the reward. And we create a facade of, oh, I can't wait to be done and I deserve this. No, your body doesn't deserve it. And that's just the reality. No. But you can still get those flavors and get those benefits and still feel good about it. And so let's talk a little bit more about some of your products, because I myself I will very soon, very shortly, be able to use them. But I'm really curious, because I know with your protein powders, like, you've done a lot of, like, research, a lot of, like, tasting events to, like, kind of pinpoint the right flavor, the right texture, how you can utilize it in other products. Kind of tell us about your protein powder. Then I can't wait to talk about flex flavors.
Okay, so the protein powder it's fabulous. It is the most versatile protein on the market. It tastes so delicious. So you can do so much with it. Basically, we started where it was just an angel food cake and brownie batter, kind of like a vanilla chocolate base. Okay. And I never thought I was going to do any more flavors with it, because I was like, geez, these two flavors, and then you can, with, adding a flex flavor to them, they can really do it all. So for the first 5 years, we only had those two flavors, and I mean the company already was a huge success, because people were loving the fact that they could all they had to do now was buy 2 tubs of protein and they were covered. You could make a shake, you can add a little bit of water and make a pudding or an icing with it. Okay. You can make protein fluff, which is protein ice cream. It's ice and water, and you can blend it in a fast blender and make it like a big soft serve ice cream. It fills up your belly. You feel satisfied. Oftentimes people will do so well during the day on their diet, and then they'll have dinner, and then nighttime will come, and you end up going in your freezer, and you're bringing out your Ben and Jerry's and you're bringing out your stuff, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you did great all day, and then you just ingested 800 calories of ice cream before bed. So
And
with
going to bed feeling
devotion,
bad about it.
oh, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, why did I do that? And so then with devotion, it would. I started just showing people, like, look, I make a big protein fluff. I mean, I make them 3 times a day. This big protein fluff before bed. It's 100 calories. There's no sugar.
Okay.
Super low carbs, and you can flavor it however you want. You go to bed full and satisfied. It's a whey casein blend, so it does stay in your belly longer than just an isolate. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, I feel fantastic, and then once you start making that a habit, and you're doing that, and you're not grabbing for all of the nighttime, sabotaging foods there, or going into your pantry looking for the wrong things. Once you start doing that, those results start to add up, and you start realizing, like, this is my tool. This is my like aha moment that, like, I was sabotaging myself with all of these high calorie, high fat, high carb foods that really I just need a real good, satisfying protein shake. And,
that's what your product provides. Yeah. So what flavors do you have now?
And we have, so now the last year, the protein line just blew up, because the next one I wanted to do was the buttery blend. People want savory items. Now, Devotion protein bakes like a dream, like no other. It holds the moisture. Okay. Protein usually bakes like cardboard and everything, and you have to add so many extra ingredients to make it moist. Devotion is the opposite. You can just mix it with water and make a pancake, and it's like,
wow,
you can make a waffle, a pancake. It's phenomenal. So we made a buttery blend that was basically just a butter base that we add Italian seasonings to, garlic. So people were making like garlic waffles, garlic pizza, and it's a protein base. Jalapeno cheddar bagels. We've all these on our website recipes. But now people who are missing their bagels and they're missing, all these like savory items, started buying the buttery blend, and that became a huge hit, because Devotion has always been known to crush your sweet cravings, but what about your savory cravings?
Yes, satisfy those as well.
And we made a protein mac and cheese that my kids love. I mean, I'm sneaking protein into my kids' diets,
Oh my goodness, and that'd be great for the kids. Now that you're mentioning it, yes, wow. So So what about? Go ahead.
Yeah, and then we have the flex flavors. Oh, so we expanded the line with sweet potato pie this fall. That was our big surprise flavor, and it's phenomenal, because now you're talking cinnamon, and it was like a whole, we were making coffee creamers out of it. They tasted like pumpkin pie lattes. Everybody's mixing with a little bit of water, pouring it into their coffee. They're cutting out the sugars. They're cutting out the coffee creamers, and the going to Starbucks and buying their, sugar-filled pumpkin latte things. And then just last week, we launched our new Mocha Java, and the trial packs sold out twice already.
Oh, really? So would they mix it like in coffee, or just make them like an ice mocha shake or something?
You can bake
that
with
sounds
it.
good.
You can make Mocha Java pancakes. You can bake with it. You can make a shake. You can make that. They all do the same. You can use the protein to make coffee creamers. We started with Angel Food Cake as a coffee creamer. You can do everything with this protein. We have recipes and YouTube videos just to show you how you buy a tub and you can do
so many different things with it. It's just not a protein shake. Yeah. So tell me about the flex flavors and the little package you got, and how you put them on oatmeal and put them on yogurts and everything else. Now that part is unique as well, because this would be the first time I heard anything like this.
So the flex flavors, they're 3 ingredients. It's basically a stevia is the sweetener. It has a non-digestible maltodextrin, which is just fiber, and it carries the flavor, and that's it. And some flavor, and it's simple yet so easy. They're just basically flavored stevia packets that you can add to anything. We even had launched one called Golden Butter, where you can sprinkle this butter flavor on your vegetables, on your I wanted it so that the people have a tool to start cutting out those heavy fats. And because here's the thing, like, I'm not trying to tell people I eat lots of healthy fats and I eat and sugar will slip into your diet, but it's really getting a hold of it, and it's, having those things in moderation. So if you can cut out some of the extra calories and sugar where you can, it's going to make a huge difference on your diet.
Mm-hmm.
And so the flex flavors can go into hot coffee. And we have, like I said, 15 flavors. So monkey bread and birthday cake and Boston cream donut.
Oh my goodness.
Monster cookie. Oh, you name, like, we have so many. Fruity Hoops taste like Fruit Loops cereal. So kids love that one.
So basically, so anyone that tries them, they will find something they really, really enjoy. It's going to happen.
Something for everyone. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
and so you add them to your shakes. You add them on low sugar cereal. So what we've tried to show is buy like Cheerios or something that's a low sugar cereal
to have a lot of flavor.
Cream of rice. Add the flex flavor instead of buying one that is filled with sugars.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's, I mean, and the fact that you can, it's little travel packs too, so you can take it with you anywhere you go, and you can give them to friends and families that probably have those same struggles. What I like the part about it too is that it doesn't have any artificial sugars in it. As being a dietitian, that's a big concern of mine. So having stevia, which is a natural sweetener, really helps to take away those artificial flavors or sweeteners, and it also helps, I'm sure, people with diabetes or high blood sugar, where it's not going to go up. And now they're mixing it with a high fiber content like oatmeal. It's a 2-in-1. They get the flavor, and they also they're countering their blood sugar levels that are going up,
And it adds variety to, like we were saying, some people who want variety in their diet enjoy the variety boxes. We have 3 variety boxes for the flex flavors. So we have an oatmeal favorites, a coffee favorites, and then we have a rainbow box. So you get 30 sticks and you get 2 of every flavor. So every day you might be making a bowl of oatmeal every day, but every day you can add a different flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing, add a different flavor to your yogurt. Have fun with your coffee, with your shake, with your, add them to all your different foods. You can bake with them. So, we do make, if you make a protein pancake, you can add, like I said, a monkey bread, which is a brown sugar cinnamon flavor. And all of a sudden you've turned the same recipe into a new recipe. So it adds variety. It makes things fun. You can throw them in your car, your gym bag, take them to your, Starbucks and add it to your coffee. If you do have a, Americana or something that's simple, you can spruce it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. I love it, Dana. Thank you so much for just kind of, because again, it's different when you just see it online or you see the videos but when we hear different ways to you can have it. I just think it helps people to just realize, like you say, you can have that balance of eating healthy foods, find a way to, put yourself first as far as your exercise, your performance, and not feel like you have to be subjected to something bland, but bringing in some variety that's going to still serve your purpose for what you're looking for at the end of the day. So I really appreciate it.
And bring your whole family into it.
Yes, bring your family into it as well, because like you said, I'm sure the kids are loving the monkey bread and the Fruit Loop flavor, and they're having a blast.
They eat devotion pancakes. Sometimes for dinner, when we have soccer and it's a busy rush, whatever, we get home and they'll say, "Ma, can we just have devotion pancakes?" And I make angel food cakes, so they have protein. I throw in some oatmeal. I'll throw in a banana. I throw in a flex flavor. I blend it all up with some eggs or egg whites. Put it on the griddle. Everybody eats protein pancakes for dinner. They're happy, or a waffle
Win-win.
or whatever. And it's something that your whole family can do together. This isn't just, no, these are mommy or daddy's protein supplements.
Everyone.
No, this is a lifestyle for your family.
Yes, that's important too. I'm glad you brought that up. Yes. Okay. So unfortunately, we've over. Which we're going to do a part 2 then. We just have to come back and do a part 2. But I want to make sure that everyone, they're hearing about their product, they're hearing about, what's behind it, and how it can also be incorporated, not just the parent, the mother, but also the family. Where can they find the product on your website, and where can they find ways to connect with you or be a part of your journey and everything else?
So my website is just devotionnutrition.com. And I have Devotion Nutrition on Instagram and Facebook. Okay. You can just type in Devotion Nutrition. But my personal Instagram is Dana Lynn Kaye. and that's it. Just type that in and you'll see me pop up. And I show a lot of behind the scenes on how I cook for my family, how I incorporate fitness with my kids. I'm very interactive with my followers. I answer all the questions that come in.
Okay.
I show recipes I'm making. So yeah, I'm very hands-on with the company. Where you'll find devotion, you'll find Dana.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, I love it. I love it so much, and I only want to continue to give my support because you guys have a good product, and I know it can answer so many struggles that people have when it comes to eating healthy and still being able to enjoy it at the same time. So I appreciate you coming on today. And again, give my regards to those Floridians down there. One of them have to come down and visit you in person. Yes. But you know what? As we continue to move forward, you guys hear Miss Dana. She has talked about how her personal life has really been a part of her product called Devotion Nutrition. And I'm not sure if you even thought about the word devotion, but devotion is centered around just being thinking beyond, how can you stick to your goals? How can you be devoted not just to your goals, but really to yourself? Because that's really what it is. How can you devote your time, yourself, your energy towards the goals that you want to accomplish? And as Ms. Dana said, her hashtag is until it's done, which means it's really not a stopping point. It's just learning how to convert your habits into a lifestyle and being able to enjoy it every moment of the way. So again, guys, thank you for watching. This is the Dietitian Against Diets. As I said, it's not about the diet, but it's the diet mentality. How can we break away from that and redefine our choices that are based off of self-care and self-love, not because we have to or because we feel like that's the only answer to happiness. So thanks again, guys. Dana, one more time, thank you for being a part of the podcast show.
Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yes, good. Well, we'll see you guys next week on the Dietitian Against Diets podcast show. Enjoy your week and talk soon. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that conversation. It's always a pleasure to have like-minded individuals on this platform talking about their own personal journeys, but how they have expanded it to help not just themselves, but for others. So if you want to continue to be a part of these conversations, please share, subscribe to this podcast. If you know someone else that you know would greatly benefit, please, I want to encourage you to share the news with those others to help them to find those ways to help them on their nutrition journey. As a dietitian against diets, again, it's not about the diet, but it's the diet mentality that we are rearranging and creating a new pathway for healthy living that's sustainable, that's self-serving, and that helps us to find that true level of happiness that we've all been seeking. So until next week, I'll see you again. Take care and have a great week.